just, again, continues to be so strong. And Mark was saying before the game that even though Curry is obviously such a massive three-point threat, that it's the layups and the backdoor cuts and all that really beats you. How did that maybe execution come from game plan stage to actually doing it on the court tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it starts in shoot-around with the coaches giving us kind of the keys to what the other team's trying to do, and then it's on us to take what they give us and execute it out on the floor, and I feel like we did a great job of that tonight. It's the NBA, though, so now we have to do it tomorrow morning for the Lakers and, get ready to play that game, so I'm excited for that one.
A lot of people talk about your work in the summer, how much you put into your game.
Yeah.
Are you starting to feel that? You're 11 or 12 games in here now.
Yeah. A lot of times I think back to that year where I was hurt before I'd played a single basketball game in the NBA. And, I worked just as hard that summer as I did, this summer. Obviously, the summer was longer. But I feel like my rate of improvement, I've learned how to get better now. I know what I have to get better at. Before, I was just working hard because, I wanted to work hard, and, that's kind of just what I do. And I love to play basketball every day. But, going through a long playoff stretch and, winning the finals, you really get the best shot up to 7 times in a row from really good teams, and that teaches you what you have to work on. And, I feel like I did a great job this summer of taking that, along with what I do every summer, work on my body and, work on my overall game. But I feel like I'm learning how to work smart alongside work hard. Long answer for you, but yeah.
What were some of those things?
I mean, everything from, and, you can't overjudge everything either, too, especially coming off an injury like that. I'd watch the tape and I'd just, look slow out there, look like I didn't have any pop and didn't have any legs on my jump shot. And so part of it is over the summer building your body to be able to do what it needs to be asked to do. But it was also working on all the technical things, the shot, where I want to be more effective on the court, inside the three-point line, outside the three-point line, transition, everything. And then just, coming into the season with an understanding that, I worked on things in the summer, but everybody else was working on their own things in the summer. So now, over the course of the season, we have to have a great attention to learning everybody's improvements and how to play with each other. Now that everybody's good at better at different things, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like we've done a lot of really good things early in the season, but I feel like, we still have a long ways to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, Chet, this has been a heck of a 3-game stretch for you and Hart. He hit, I think, 33 and 18 3 games ago. You had 18 and 13 in Memphis, and then tonight you hit 23 and 11 on perfect shooting. Can you just kind of talk about what kind of groove you guys are in right now? Is this something that you have both consciously honed in on, or is it just happening?
I feel like a lot of things happen naturally, but I also feel like as a team, learning to play that lineup has been very important from the moment I got back from my injury last year. And we understood that last year's version of it wasn't the best version of what that lineup could be. And I still think there's a long ways to go for us. But, I love Hart as a person, and, I love Hart as a player, too. I love playing with him. And, I hope he'd say the same about me. And, from one big fella to another, we got to help each other eat sometimes. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then I feel like the team is kind of known for, over the last couple of years, nationally, offensively, it's been the backcourt, Shea and J-Dub primarily. But with you guys putting up numbers like this, do you think that, that narrative can kind of change? And I guess just kind of talk about that.
Well, what would the narrative be? What would you call that?
kind of like a dual threat, just giving you guys like another wrinkle on top of what Shea and Dub are already doing. You guys are known more so defensively.
Yeah.
So, like, adding that wrinkle to everything, I guess, kind of talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, the only narratives we care about are winning. So, if you guys want to have fun and, make that a narrative and do what you guys do, that's your guys' job. I think it would be cool, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to win basketball games. So
one narrative seems to be working because of injuries, guys in and out, different lineups. But it doesn't seem. It seems like no matter what five is out there, it works. Explain that.
Is he the reigning coach of the year? No, he didn't win it last year. No, he didn't. All right. Well, we have coach of the year. I don't care what year it was, but he's amazing at fitting puzzle pieces together that might not normally fit together, and the credit goes beyond him too. We just have 17 guys that are ready to roll when their number's called. So, from top down in the organization, the credit goes to the guys who built this, and from there, the credit goes to the guys who are ready to suit up every night and play, no matter if their name's called, if their name's not called, if somebody's injured, somebody's not injured, doesn't matter.